All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for the
Book of Boba Fett, Episode 2.
Okay, all right.
So,
So last episode we had ourselves getting a little bit of Tuscan Raider, appreciation here. But then also, okay, we've got to go and get our influence reestablished of what Jabba actually controlled on Tatooine.
Gotta deal with the mayor, because he's, giving some lip. But so far, it hasn't gone too well for Boba and Fennec. And Fennec has some, is maybe a little bit frustrated with the decisions that Boba is making.
That's true, yeah. So, but right now, things are kept very simple. We don't really know, based on what the story has given us thus far, what we're really supposed to care about in terms of the Tatooine greater situation. So they're focusing primarily on just showing Boba's struggle to get to this point through the backstory stuff. I don't know how much they're going to continue into this episode with that.
Given that I
feel like they don't have enough time really in this show to go too much into that.
Like it's this tough thing where because it was such a big focus in the first episode, it seems like it would be something that's very important for the overarching story rather than just here's how he got to where he is. But at the same time, I don't see how they would make that super important in the
interesting
or super interesting for the overarching story. Even though that was probably the thing that I was interested in most from the previous episode, because nothing really happened in the present day. But we'll have to see.
We met some people.
We
got attacked.
Right.
And the Gamorreans were useless until they weren't.
And Boba was also kind of useless. But we'll see if that changes in this next episode.
Yeah, so y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
What were your orders? Speak, prisoner. Well, if he's not gonna speak, he no longer needs his head.
How rude.
We spared your life after you tried to take mine. And you curse me?
Perhaps he fears the Rancor.
Oh, that's just pure nostalgia, yeah.
Okay. Did Jabba get a new Rancor since then? I don't know.
I was sent by the mayor! The mayor sent me! Let me out!
Yeah, no, Rancor's dead.
Rancor,
yeah.
It's empty.
Trandoshans, cool.
Why are they bringing this guy, though?
Why not? Because they want to parlay. You see the Mos Eisley Cantina, and they shove literally every single Star Wars species in there.
Maybe it's a different part of the city.
Well, it's Mos Eisley
Here
here.
to see the mayor.
Do you have an appointment?
Oh my god.
One of his stray pets.
It might be.
I'm here to return it to its master.
Well, I don't see your name in the schedule, so you'll have to,
Pardon the lack of pomp for your entrance. However, I did not see your litter arrive. However, I regret to inform you the mayor is indisposed for the rest of the week, and this area here is restricted. No, you're not. Sir, if you would be so kind as to. Apologies for the intrusion.
If you do not know who I am, then why did you send this man to assassinate me?
I can assure you, the mayor had nothing.
He's a member of the Order of the Night Wind.
Shit.
Yep.
I like it.
The Order of the Night Wind are not allowed to operate outside of hut space. Thank you for turning him in.
Okay.
I know that you sit on the throne of your former employer.
Bib Fortuna was not my employer.
It was Jabba the Hutt's throne.
Yes, and now it is mine. And I will take this payment as what you should have brought me as tribute.
Sir,
Before
empty
you
words
threaten,
after he
you
sent
should ask
assassins.
yourself, who really sent the Night Wind? I have no motive. As you said, I serve at your pleasure. Running a family is more complicated than bounty hunting.
Is that it?
Go to Garza's sanctuary. You'll see what I speak of.
Okay, that's interesting.
We see who really runs Tatooine.
Yeah.
And if it's the tribes of Tatooine, we're already setting up the Trandoshans on multiple levels here. Yep. There's a Trandoshan in the background there.
Ah, what a surprise. Thank you for the honor of your patronage, Mr. Fett. Please have a seat at the bar, and I'll see if I can free up a table for you. Would you care to have a beverage while I sort this out?
What's going on here?
The twins have laid claim to their late cousin's bequest.
The twins are preoccupied with the debauchery of Hutta. To bother with any ambitions on Tatooine. Watch my back.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Hut
Oh,
twins.
shit.
Okay.
Visiting from Nal Hutta.
Yeah.
Boba Fett. La Punichasa.
Oh.
Yes, my pocket dick.
The Espaka Jitik Dujaba. Anka es Chiji.
I don't care what your tablet says. This is Mos Espa, and I am Daimyo here.
Oh, the little creature just in his hands. Oh, shit. Is this a Wookiee? Oh!
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh, shit.
Yes! Yes!
You can bring as many gladiators as you wish, but these are not the death pits of Dur, and I am not a sleeping Trandoshan god.
Oh. Oh, said to specifically anger the Wookiee.
Yeah.
These are the twins. Yeah, okay.
Your cousin Jabba is dead. His cowardly Major Domo usurped his territory, and then I killed him. All that is his belongs to me now.
They're buckling.
If you want it, you'll have to kill me for it.
Oh my god, the absolute unit. He makes Chewbacca look like a little guy.
Yep.
Go back to the Tuskens now. Okay, okay. Now he learned how to use the gaffy stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get it. Oh, doggy, mastiff, yeah. Oh, are we getting tied back to the Mandalorian with a crate dragon?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
It's a train.
Oh. Oh, shit.
Maybe these are the slavers from before.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, no, he's still good.
I will stop the train. I will stop them. I will take rifle and stick. Be back by morning.
Yeah, because if he can get a swoop, he can do...
Right, he can do all kinds of stuff.
He can be fast enough to get on it.
Yeah. And once he gets inside it, it's over.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Might be a good idea to leave the bar.
I said it's not right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. It's working out so far.
There's a lot of them, though.
Oh. Oh, yep.
Okay.
Go for the dick each time. Yep. I love how it looks like he just like escaped from something. But he came in here all like confident, and it's the desert outside, you know?
Right.
And he just leaves.
He just leaves. Hell yeah. Ah, nice.
I mean, you still could have done this
without, yeah.
No, maybe tying them up would have taken a lot of time.
Too long, yeah.
He is gonna bring them back to them, though. Oh. Tuscans on swoops.
Yep.
The best part about this is that the Weekways have no idea who to follow.
Nope.
Like, because they have no reason to assume that Tuscans will take them.
Right.
Like, you know. So they're like, well, I don't know. Immediately start destroying it.
Stop! These are mine! These are mine! Stop! These are mine! I will teach you how to ride.
Yeah!
All right. All right.
This is cute.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, practicing going from one to the other. Oh, I mean, no, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta fit as many of them on as you can.
Yep. Right, because you've got the riders and then you've got the people that are going to get onto the train. Yeah.
And they can use the sand dunes as cover before they actually, like, end up cresting alongside the train. So if they can get to slow down by shooting at it.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Okay, okay.
All right.
Well, shit. That's one down.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Oh, that's terrifying. Yeah, yeah. Yep, yep.
Okay.
Yep. Let's go, let's go. Whoa! That was cool!
All right.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep, yep. Good, good, good. Don't let them get up. Yep, yep. Oh. Okay, okay.
Oh,
make your
boy.
move, make your move.
Oh, no.
Oh, no way. Whoa! What a badass!
Hell yeah, that was awesome. Oh. Gonna try and shake him off.
We're going faster, y'all.
Yeah.
Whoa! Oh, just right in.
And then break.
Watch out!
Oh shit.
Oh, no, no, no! Yep, and keep him up, keep him up. Oh!
Love it.
Oh, hello. Oh, wow. You little shit!
Oh my god!
Destroyed!
Dedicated to the cause. Trying to pull the emergency brake, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least... Okay, gotcha. Train might explode. Yeah, because it's not like it was going to run into anything.
Yeah, but now it's just this massive hulking metal thing that was hovering above the ground going really quickly, so...
Right.
Thankfully, it's long enough that it's not going to flip or anything, but... Wow!
Okay.
What an action scene! Oh my god!
That was really cool!
Are you going to kill us?
It depends on how you answer what I'm about to ask. Are you carrying spice?
What do you mean by spice?
You spice? You spice?
Santa spice from the slave mines of Kessel.
What does spice look like?
That.
Like that. These people lay ancestral claim to the Dune Sea. And if you are to pass, a toll is to be paid to them.
Oh.
Any death dealt from the passing freighters will be returned tenfold.
Oh shit.
All that water.
Might want to stopper that up and harvest it a better way.
The tribes of Tatooine.
Okay.
Yeah.
A gift? Why?
Huge solid.
Oh, what's this? Oh.
A lizard.
What
I
do?
will let it guide me.
Oh.
Oh shit!
Oh, what? What is this?
All right.
Oh, this is so cool.
What?
This is so cool. Right. Going back. Yep, remembering. All the way back to his childhood. Oh! What is this? This is so cool. He's getting his own cave experience, basically. Oh, shit.
Okay.
I thought he was part of the dream.
And then that's what they're gonna like make into his gaffy stick or something?
Yep.
Cool.
Oh my god. I had chills, man. Oh, no. You're gonna make it.
Ah, gotcha.
You're gonna make it.
Cool.
That's why it was important that you understood what you were holding.
Right.
Or maybe they'll make it.
Okay.
Oh no, he's showing him how to do it. Okay, so then he will make it. Good. Okay.
Cool.
Right, the communication barrier leads to...
Yeah, some complications.
Some complications, of course, but... Nice. Showcasing all he's learned.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not in a fight, it's in a dance, yeah.
Okay. Cool. I haven't done this in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
That was really cool.
That was a good long episode, too.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like 50 minutes. Wow.
Okay.
This was a big episode.
This was a very big episode.
It's so much focused on the Tusken stuff, too.
Yep.
I'm really surprised because I did not expect them to do that.
Yeah.
But I guess we do really have something that they're setting up here with regards to the Tuskens as a part of the story overall.
Right. And
it's not just a flashback backstory.
Yeah,
thing.
and you know, the Tuskens were my favorite part of the first episode.
Yes.
Even though I didn't even though it did feel very much out of place, you know? And that was very, very much true of this episode, granted, because there was about 3 times as much time spent with the Tuskens as, you know, the rest of the stuff. But it was very engaging. I feel like you could have had an episode of a show that was just the stuff with the Tuskens, and it would have been a fantastic episode, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Then we also get the stuff, you know, earlier, which is sort of setting up the present conflict. Okay. I'm still a little bit like, all right, when are we
jostled by having them focus on 2 different storylines
the main storyline as advertised and given that it's the present and all of that stuff is the stuff in Mos Espa and the mayor and the twins, you know, which is a cool development and everything. Yeah. But it's not the stuff with the Tuskens, right? So the fact that so far...
Well, that's the thing. Honestly, this is the part that I think is a little bit tricky here. The marketing is actually very different from what the title of this show even is. Book of Boba Fett should have nothing really to do, I would say personally, with the idea of the whole stuff in Mos Espa. Book of Boba Fett to me sounds like the legend of Boba Fett.
Sure.
You know, some like, you know, notorious, you know, person that you know, makes their story through myth and all this stuff. And it's like, cool. I get also the reference to old EU stuff and things like that. But the idea that, okay, this is the beginning of his story. The Tusken stuff feels like it would be the thing that you would start with. You just slowly go from there. But you wouldn't show us all this stuff ahead of time.
Right.
But I think the reason why they're doing that is because people in The Mandalorian
saw him.
Well, they want to have stuff following from there as well.
And that's I think where maybe there's we'll have to see how big of a misstep in my mind it is with how the show goes moving forward. But given the thing that teased and seeded the idea for a Boba Fett show, the Wookiee design is really cool. I love the idea of a couple of Hutts as antagonists that he's got to work against.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm really glad it wasn't just, oh, the mayor, right? Because that doesn't sound cool or intimidating. Having the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy struggle with a mayor of a single city on Tatooine doesn't seem engaging. Doesn't seem engaging. It really doesn't, right? Even though his majordomo has fun personality with the way he talks and everything, right? Right. Not for Boba Fett. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thankfully, immediately they're like, no. The twins are here.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, what does that mean? I love that it's very apropos that it's, well, the twin sons of Tatooine, if you will.
Right.
So therefore, yeah, here we go. We have twin, Hutts coming in. My
immediate question is, why not have just done this in the first episode? You know, like,
it's a director's decision, writer's decision to how you edit this whole thing to make it all
right.
fit. I really think that, yes, I think it would have made more sense to have the beginning of this show start with all the things focused on Mos Espa.
Yeah.
And then have one massive episode
for just
focused on the Tuskens.
Yep. Because then it's easier to just have it be sectioned off to its own segment of the story. There you go. And having the reveal of the twins and this badass looking Wookiee with like spiked shoulder plates and like a big ass rifle, that would be a great way to make me hyped for the show right from the get-go, right?
Right.
But at least we have it now, right? At least we have it now.
Yeah. I think the other thing is that you can't really have all of it be in this episode because you need to sell, okay, why did Boba survive at all? Well, he got out. He got out of the Sarlacc pit.
Right.
What time was he out of the Sarlacc pit from there? We don't know.
Right.
So we need to set up that that's going to be something that's explored. You could have had, I think, like you're saying, 3 minutes maybe of the episode prior be focused on him getting out. and then he bumps into the Tuskens, and then we cut to the present.
And it's just a bookmark. Remember this for later. We know that he has a gaffy stick in Mandalorian, so we would also know that he would run into Tuskens. And then it's just, that's not important right now. It's like, because it's not immediately relevant, you know, it happened, and then we can go into it, you know, at another time.
Right. And again, this is nitpicking. It's basically a thing where, you know, the show is trying to figure out its own, like, different style of Star Wars to go for here, which is we are going to do a character single-focused story, which is going to involve a lot of times where he's interacting with those that actually have no reason to really interact with him that much. Like, other than Fennec, who we already kind of know, we shouldn't really be spending that much time with him and Fennec just speaking to each other about peoples and things that we don't know or care about yet.
Exactly, they're professionals,
Well, right, but the idea is that in order to introduce us to a story and have us be engaged in a way that is really strong, actually this episode, with all this stuff with the Tuskens, is a fun way to avoid exposition dumping about every single crime group and everything and all their motivations and stuff. So I think that this episode being something that is almost mandatory that you watch with the previous episode. Otherwise, pacing-wise, it's going to feel really, really
The
off.
first episode is not a good standalone episode, I would say. Like, and certainly not as a first episode, right? But like, and even with the whole thing of avoiding exposition, they did a really good job of that in this episode too, when it did come to the Mos Espa stuff, because when he went to the place, right, and he's like, okay, what's going on? You're nervous all of a sudden. The twins are here, right? We don't really know too much about the twins. I mean, yeah, there was the little bit of, why aren't they doing their thing on Nalhada, right? You know, and then they show up, and it's just the presence of them being there. You hear the beat of the drums. You see the people, you know, scurrying away, right? You see the the badass Wookiee, like, that design is just so cool.
Yeah.
You know,
so the setup now is that we have our antagonist, but not only that, we have what it looks like of if a Hutt was the daimyo, which I still have issue with them using daimyo as the.
That feels very unnecessary.
Very unnecessary. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. The idea that remember. Boba, we didn't hear your litter coming.
Right.
You know, this is what that looks like, Boba.
Yeah, exactly. You even if you don't want to use a litter specifically and you want to rule with respect and everything, you need to have the
entourage.
The entourage and the strength that goes along with respect. You've had, like, Boba has had a ton of people talk shit to him.
Yeah.
You know, these first two episodes, and all that he does in response is talk big back, right? Like, he says that he'll kill, you know, he'll remove the head from a prisoner or whatever, but he doesn't, you know, like, so.
Yeah. I think another thing that's really kind of important to kind of feel out a little bit here is, I think one of the things that's a really unique aspect of Disney handling Star Wars that is with regards to criminals and killers and stuff like that, is that if our primary main character is a killer, a criminal, and all this stuff, will they actually do anything that would be slightly morally reprehensible?
Like the fact that he was like, oh, you had spice on your train? Why the fuck do you care, Boba? Like, you're a bounty hunter. Look, no disintegrations. You had a reputation for absolutely destroying all traces of bodies when you were done with people, right?
Yeah.
Why do you care if people are like using spice? The trade that you're taking over.
To be fair, we don't know anything about Boba's character prior to this.
That's true.
This is a thing that is very very important, I would say, to this is something I was kind of feeling like I needed to be ready for before going into this. Is that there is no real canon characterization of Boba Fett outside of the Clone Wars.
Right, and the tiny bits that are hinted at in original trilogy.
And there's really nothing.
And it's basically just the no disintegrations, and, you know.
That's not his line, though. That's
Darth Vader says that to him. Yeah.
Right.
No, right, but that means he's fond of disintegrations, you know.
Right, which is something that we don't really know what that means.
Sure.
So it's the idea that we really don't know anything about his character outside of the animated Clone Wars show, which went into a lot of him as a kid at spots. But as of right now, we're kind of getting reintroduced to him. So
one thing, yes to everything you're saying. The disintegrations thing though was in response to I want them alive. So we know that
just
Boba
don't kill them.
Well, right, but that Boba had a reputation for killing people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
There are plenty of people that kill that see drugs and stuff as being morally reprehensible. So I don't understand your point in that regard. But it has to
not about
spice
not about the spice, but like the fact that Boba has now changed a lot, maybe because of his time with the Tuskens, and now he doesn't actually kill people. Like not
but that
really.
has nothing to do with the spice, though.
No, that's just the spice is another example of something where it's like, oh, okay, this is part of an introduction of this new Boba, right?
Yes.
That is a particular choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And we're focusing almost entirely of the episode on this setup with him with the Tuskens. So that's the thing that is where Jacob and I are like, oh, this is not the show as advertised.
Right.
The show did not basically give us that this was going to be what the majority of the story early on was going to be focused on.
Right. We got a rule of cool shot of him and Fennec at Jabba's throne, right? Like, and that was a fantastic way to, advertise and get us hyped for the show. But like at this point,
even though they're basically setting up season 2, like they kind of have to, because there's so much time that they're focusing on this that I'm like,
yeah,
well,
like even if they didn't focus on the Tuskens anymore after this, which like if they do focus on the Tuskens after this in the past, like I think that would almost be kind of weird, right?
I think that they will have some focus, but it's still a thing of where we have to see what they're going to be focusing on when the episodes primarily shift back to the present.
Right, exactly. And I feel like because of the way that the Tuskens have gotten a lot of screen time, it's fairly safe to say that the Tuskens will at least be a thing at some point in the present day.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be involved somehow
in the plot. Obviously, they're a thing in the story.
No, no, the Tuskens stopped existing outside of Boba's backstory.
No, but the idea of setting up things like there being many tribes and the idea that Tatooine used to have water, and this is something that I am so excited if they go into the idea of is that Tatooine in the EU. The EU and the expanded stuff, so fan fiction territory and old stuff there, was actually a Rakatan settlement.
Yes,
like one of the most important ones for scientific stuff.
Exactly,
and the idea that they're setting up the larger, grander Star Wars universe with every single show, every single piece of media that Disney sets up and things like this.
Very intentional.
It's okay, cool. If we're gonna go into stuff of the distant past eventually. We now have reasons for that.
I gotta say, as far as a way to do additional world building for Star Wars, I feel like this episode and how it went into the Tuskens and their culture and Tatooine and things like that is a great example of why I think Star Wars works so well as a TV show, right? Even though this specific thing felt odd with what Book of Boba Fett was sort of more advertised as, I would I'd much prefer going specific and deep and narrow on something, right, than going broad and shallow, right? Like the fact that it's like, okay, we are really getting to know Tatooine, right?
Yeah,
like,
we're not really getting to know the characters of Tatooine, though. And I think that that's a really important distinction here, is that that's going to happen. That was advertised because that's in the show later. Like that's coming.
Yeah, you can't have a story without characters.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that literally the characters of the crime family syndicate and all that stuff. Those are going to be in the story. The Tuskens aren't involved in that in the immediate sense, but that's something that's going to happen. But the fact that that's not happening right now reminds us that this is not a story about Tatooine. This is a story about Boba Fett.
Right.
And the idea that he went on some kind of force, trance, spirit journey because of a little lizard that went in and screwed with his brain and stuff. There's some cool other EU fan fiction stuff about Boba Fett and he was a clone, but he was also a perfect clone.
Right.
So
unaltered. Yeah.
Right. But there's a unique bit of EU stuff in that the idea that the clones, because they were clones, they are very low attuned to the Force. Like they're not the clones from back.
Right, because otherwise, why don't you just clone Jedi? You know.
Well, yeah, and then we, had the Rise of Skywalker. But anyway, the idea was you can't clone, the midichlorians. Basically, you can't. Everything that lives has connection to the Force. Absolutely, every single thing.
Right.
Everything, not even just living things, but living things more especially. But the idea that Boba might have had his first experience with the Force here, through this unique tradition of this little creature and stuff that went into his brain and triggered some kind of a dream state, right?
Yeah,
that's
the
cool.
Stick came
but
back
the stick was real.
Yeah,
the stick was real, and I want to throw out the idea that one of the things that the Tuskens, and this is something that was also in the EU, that the Tuskens were very much in tune with their ancestry.
Right.
The idea that what happened here was that he went back to a Tatooine of the past.
Right.
And he went back to a place where there was a tree there. And as the trance basically was finished,
flow walking is canon.
No, really, it's a form of that basically, and he did it with organism assisted aspects
it's
of
all very wibbly wobbly, not
mystical.
Fully understood,
very Star Warsy, very fantasy.
Exactly.
But I love that because it's something that you didn't have to have happen.
Nope.
We could have absolutely had him make a gaffy stick out of some combined metals.
Right, and
stuff.
It still has all the ceremony to it and everything, and the dance at the end, and yeah.
Yeah, and that's wonderful. Him getting inducted into the Tuskens is great.
Like, this was a cooler lightsaber building scene than
we've ever gotten
than
in
any
Star Wars.
actual lightsaber building scene we've gotten.
Yeah, there's some in the Clone Wars show that are pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah?
But there's nothing in live action that there isn't really.
Right, yeah.
Like it's
so it's like
there
this was everything that I like. This was an example of something that I have deeply wanted from Star Wars for a very long time. Just did not ever think about it in this specific set of trappings and context, right? But awesome, we got it. It was great.
Yeah. And just a final little detail about this whole thing, as going back to a Tatooine where there was water, there was a tree there, and there's all the wibbly wobbly aspects of it. The idea that the gaffy stick is ultimately a stick, like it's the idea that it is part of a tree. It is this living thing, even though it needs the metal reinforced and all this in order to actually work.
And there wasn't even too much wood left. Like they more used that as the core and the head.
It's the core and the head. Yeah. But that's the idea that's rather interesting, is that the Tuskens need to wrap themselves in all this stuff in order to survive the harshness of the desert.
Yeah.
But at their core, they haven't forgotten who they are.
Nice.
And I'm like, that's a cool little detail. Whenever you have an item that is emblematic of a specific people group,
sure,
it's very easy to simplify too much and just be like, oh yes, this is thing that looks like
that
this.
looks cool and is weapon. Yeah.
But I loved the thought put into it of, oh no, we have a weird trance that we go through that's involved in this.
Yep.
You are not unique, Boba. This is something that they've been doing for a long time, which means they might not even know what they're doing.
Yep.
But it works.
This is the tradition. Yeah.
Right. Either you die or you get, choked by the tree, or you get lost in that, weird plane of existence. But some come back.
Right. And
it's like,
by the way, since this was probably the Force, right? I feel like we can pretty safely assume that it was some sort of,
it goes through all the
mishmash,
things,
right? Of all of those things. This is also one of, in my opinion, the coolest examples of the Force that we've seen in live action Star Wars, for just having that truly mystical feel to it, right? Like I just the fact that you go on some trippy vision, great, but you actually come back with a physical object. Like, what?
Yeah, I know. That's just so crazy.
Like, to
cool.
a Tatooine that, looks like it would have been from another time.
Yeah.
Okay, that has implications.
Right. I love this because I thought that the creature might even be with him for this entire time.
Yeah, and then he was going to have like some internal mental compass or something like that. Or I don't know.
Like, no, you're not special here. Nope. This is just something for the process, and it is going to guide you. And there, there's going to be probably YouTubers that will, just go all in on the
sure.
lizard, but I don't think the lizard
Right.
is important. I think it's the idea that Tuskens have been doing this for a long time. And the idea that the Tuskens, who are essentially foraging off of nothing, the desert is essentially dead.
It's barren, yeah.
It's barren. They still have access to its history, to that.
Oh yeah,
That
some crazy
idea
shit
means that essentially they'll never run out of gaffy sticks, for instance.
Right.
Like there's all this other stuff in the Tusken Raider culture that's built into Star Wars, even from the original stuff.
Sure.
Of like the idea of banthas and their whole spiritual
or the
implications.
bits of technology that they scavenge from
Right.
other people that come through or whatever. Yeah,
But like no one knows what Tuskens really are. Like no one really knows what a Tusken is. No one's seen a Tusken in the same way that a Jawa. No one's actually seen what Jawas look like. And it just builds up even more the mystery of Star Wars in that we can return to the same planet we've been to so many times in Star Wars.
And keep it fresh and new.
Keep it fresh and new, yeah.
Also, something that I thought was kind of interesting, there were the eyes at the tree, right? Now they were like red or something.
Yeah,
but then in the concept art at the end, it showed them as being Jawas.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Now, because they changed the color of the eyes to red, for one, and we never actually saw them as Jawas in the finished product, that might be something that didn't make the cut.
Maybe inspired the
like they were
idea.
thinking, right, exactly. It was a concept art piece, and then they're like, okay, but that's not, like, that doesn't actually have any canon implications. But if it did, because it could, that would be very interesting.
Yeah, I could see it being a thing where it's the reason why they just showed the eyes was that the only way you could see a Tusken is through their little eye holes. So those were all just other Tusken spirits basically over the course of time.
The ones who have come before,
Yeah. And they're basically testing you to see if you're actually capable of, surviving this encounter.
Squeezing water from the rocks of the desert,
Yeah. But okay, cool. We noticed the Trandoshans though. That was very.
I feel like that.
No. Like there
given
were
that
multiple
the twins
times.
were Hutts.
No. I know. I'm with you. But I think what it was that they sent out potentially Trandoshans to be like, go make sure that we're not going to be interfered with by anyone big.
Yeah,
and that's why they were like watching Boba, but there was like a lot of them.
And there was the whole comment that Boba made to the Wookiee about like Trandoshan slavers and things.
Yeah. So I'm not a sleeping Trandoshan guard.
Right.
And it was just like, basically the thing of where the Wookiee's like, oh, you're gonna eat those words, man. Right. I have fought, a fair, a legit fight and torn people apart,
Also, something that I just love the idea of, right? Wookiees, with the way they're portrayed in Star Wars most of the time, it's like the awesome warriors that, like charge into battle and it's great and everything, right? Yeah. But one of the things that I've always thought would be terrifying is if you took something as physically powerful as a Wookiee, right? Especially with like the shoulder plates and the rifle and everything.
Right.
And then he just crept up on you while you were asleep. like that would be the scariest shit.
I mean, in Solo, Chewie was really terrifying. Like when you're like, oh, we're gonna feed you to the beast, and it's like, the beast? And
Hold on.
And you're like, oh shit, oh no.
Right.
Chewie has no loyalty to Han yet. Oh no.
But like, I feel like if Chewie, like Chewie is very slender now that we think about it as a Wookiee, right?
He's a little bit tall, but he's very slender. Yeah.
He's still very strong, but this is like the equivalent of like seeing a regular
Mike
horse
Tyson.
and then seeing a
Wookiee.
draft horse with like the wide hooves and everything and just the
No. This is like if you saw Mike Tyson Wookiee where it's like thick, heavyweight champion of the world kind of Wookiee coming in. You're like,
oh shit.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah,
right. I am so hyped for the hopefully multiple showdowns between Boba and this Wookiee.
I really hope actually Boba and the Wookiee never fight because then they have to decide who wins, and I don't want this Wookiee to die.
Classic. I don't either. But the classic thing of like they get into fights and stuff, and then for suitably satisfying reasons, it ends up getting like. They get pulled apart and aren't able to finish their fight, so it can be like a constantly escalating when will be the final encounter?
Yeah, see, I'm starting to read the vibe that Disney is not wanting to make Boba as ruthless as more of just plain likable.
Yeah.
So every single character that's a unique design, I'm like, are we gonna knock them of them? Are we gonna
exactly.
friendship them?
Exactly.
Are we gonna turn them into like our friends?
Disney's
you
like,
know?
if we made an amazing design by this, why do we want to kill them? That sounds like a bunch of toys that we wouldn't be selling, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, so no, this Wookiee looks gruff and terrifying
And
because it's a gruff and terrifying Wookiee, but it's still a Wookiee. Which means it's just a big dog. It's just a big good boy. All it needs is just to be given a good bit of love.
It's just a big dog. The dog with a spiked collar with like, that looks like it works out at the gym and is snarling with crazy
has
sharp
like
teeth and
testicles, like it's just like just big boy. And I'm like, no.
Oh, you're just a good boy inside.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a big meat on a stick bone. Like you're gonna come over and you're gonna be our good boy, aren't you? Yes, you
but
are.
yeah, like the also just last thing to say, the train scene with the swoops and getting onto the train and everything, that was just really cool action.
That was
great.
Yeah. But all right, that's episode 2. It's a big upgrade from episode 1.
Oh yeah.
And I'm really excited for them to go back into the Tatooine kind of politics side of things here. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion, well, sorry. Yeah, we're doing these once as the episodes come out. But if you want to see the full-length timer version of this reaction, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, you can get any level support there. Gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us in the community there about Star Wars, about this show, about anime, stories in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.